Ever met a Sigma INFJ and thought, what's the deal with their mysterious aura? Well, here's a wild idea. Could these guys be low-key hiding some narcissistic tendencies behind that calm exterior? Let's ditch the complicated jargon and dive into the world of Sigma INFJs. We're on a mission to figure out if they are genuine self-aware souls or just playing the narcissist game in disguise. Come along as we decode the personality puzzle and find out if Sigma INFJs are keeping some secrets up their sleeves. Reserved demeanor. Sigma INFJs have this thing for keeping their feelings on the down low. You might meet one and think they're a bit standoffish or self-centered because they don't spill their emotions all over the place. It's like they've got this secret vault where they stash their feelings, and not everyone gets the key. But hold up, just because they're not broadcasting their every mood doesn't mean they're all about themselves. These folks are like the quiet thinkers in the corner. While some might mistake their reserved demeanor for being stuck up, Sigma INFJs are more into reflecting on life. It's not that they're keeping secrets or plotting world domination. They're just deep thinkers who need some time to process things. So don't let their quiet vibe fool you. There's a lot going on beneath the surface. Picture it this way, you know how some people wear their hearts on their sleeves? Well, they prefer to keep theirs in a cozy, private nook. It's not about being narcissistic. It's about being introspective. They're more likely to be mulling over life's big questions than basking in the spotlight. So, next time you meet a reserved Sigma INFJ, remember, it's not about ego. It's just their thoughtful way of navigating the world. Independence. Sigma INFJs are like the lone wolves of the personality world. They really fancy their independence. You might catch them doing their own thing, making decisions like a boss, and people could easily get the wrong idea. Some might think they're a bit narcissistic because they seem so self-sufficient and all. But here's the scoop. Just because they fly solo doesn't mean they're not big-hearted. These guys value their independence like it's gold. It's not about being all about themselves. It's more about having the freedom to dance to their own tune. While their self-reliance might make them look like they're in it just for themselves, that's far from the truth. Sigma INFJs are like undercover superheroes. They care about others, sometimes even more than themselves. So when you see them going solo, just know it's not about ego. It's about giving themselves the space to be there for others in the best way they can. Think of them as the friends who can stand on their own 2 feet but will also lend you a hand when you need it. Their independence isn't a sign of narcissism. It's a sign of their deep-rooted compassion and consideration for the people around them. So, next time you spot a Sigma INFJ doing their solo thing, just remember, they're not selfish. They're just on a mission to make the world a better place, one independent step at a time. Visionary thinking. Sigma INFJs are like the dreamers with a roadmap to the stars. They've got this visionary thing going on. It's not just about personal growth for them. It's about chasing dreams that can change the world. But here's the twist. Their ambitious pursuit of ideals sometimes gets them tagged as narcissists. Go figure, right? It's like people see their passion and think it's all about themselves. These folks have a strong sense of purpose that could rival a superhero's origin story. They're not just dreaming big for kicks. They're on a mission to make a positive dent in the universe. Now, this is where things get interesting. Because they're so laser-focused on their goals, some might mistake their determination for narcissism. But here's the reality check. Sigma INFJs are not in it for the glory. They're in it for the greater good. Imagine Sigma INFJs as the architects of a better tomorrow. They're not painting a masterpiece to hang in their personal gallery. They're creating a mural that everyone can enjoy. So, when you see them lost in their visionary world, know that it's not an ego trip. It's their way of wanting to bring a little more awesome into everyone's lives. Turns out, being a visionary isn't about self-glorification for Sigma INFJs. It's about spreading positivity and making the world a better place for us all. Confidence and values. Sigma INFJs are like the guardians of their own moral compass. They're rock solid when it comes to values and beliefs. But here's the catch. Their unwavering confidence can sometimes be misread as arrogance. When they passionately express their convictions, it might seem like they're on a high horse. Spoiler alert, it's not about feeling superior. It's about staying true to themselves. These guys have a strong sense of what's right and wrong, and they don't shy away from letting you know it. It's not arrogance, it's authenticity. Sigma INFJs are driven by a deep commitment to their principles, like they've got a moral code that's non-negotiable. So, when you see them standing firm in their values, know that it's not about proving they're better than you. It's about living in alignment with what they believe is good and just. One can also think of Sigma INFJs as the moral architects who want to build a world based on fairness and authenticity. Their confidence isn't a power play. It's a reflection of their dedication to making the world a better place. So, before you write them off as arrogant, take a moment to understand that their strong convictions are fueled by a genuine desire for authenticity and a commitment to principles, not a narcissistic need for superiority. Protective of boundaries. Sigma INFJs are like the gatekeepers of their emotional fortress. They're pretty choosy about who gets the VIP access. Now, here's where the confusion kicks in. Their cautious approach in letting people in can be mistaken for arrogance or even narcissism. But here's the real deal. It's not about thinking they're better. It's about protecting their emotional turf. These guys might seem a bit like Fort Knox when it comes to letting others into their inner circle. It's not arrogance. It's more like emotional self-preservation. Sigma INFJs establish firm boundaries because, well, they've learned the hard way that not everyone deserves a backstage pass to their feelings. So when they're selective about who's in their inner circle, it's not about being snobbish. It's about guarding their emotional space. Imagine them as the keepers of their own emotional sanctuary. They've got this protective vibe, not because they think they're above everyone else, but because they've got a need for emotional well-being. So, before you label them as standoffish or self-centered, remember that their guarded nature is a shield, not a crown of arrogance. It's their way of making sure the people in their inner circle are genuinely there for the right reasons. Analytical observation. Sigma INFJs possess a unique skill set. They're like the Sherlock Holmes of personality types, always picking up on the subtle details and reading between the lines. While this analytical observation is a strength, it can sometimes make them look like they're playing detective, sizing people up without much effort. Some might think they're being judgmental or overly critical, but hold on a second. It's not about putting others down. It's about an authentic curiosity for the mysteries of human behavior. Imagine Sigma INFJs as the quiet observers in the corner, taking mental notes on the intricate dance of human interactions. When they seem to understand someone without the need for a detailed explanation, it's not a power move. It's their way of navigating the complex web of emotions and motivations. Their analytical prowess isn't fueled by a desire to dominate intellectually. It's driven by a genuine thirst for knowledge and a passion for unraveling the complexities that make us all uniquely human. High standards and idealism. Sigma INFJs are like the dreamers with a grand vision. They set their standards sky high, not just for themselves, but for everyone around them. Now, here's where the confusion kicks in. Their relentless pursuit of excellence can make them look like perfectionists, or, worse, like they're trying to be the rulers of the world. But here's the scoop. It's not about being flawless. It's about creating an idealized world driven by genuine passion. These guys and girls have this idealistic vision of how things could be, and they're not afraid to aim for the stars. Sure, they might get a bit frustrated when those high standards aren't met, but it's not because they're on a power trip. It's because they genuinely care about making a positive impact and pushing everyone to be the best version of themselves. Their commitment to excellence is more like a motivational coach than a perfectionist dictator. Imagine Sigma INFJs as the architects of a utopian future. They're not striving for perfection for the sake of ego. They're doing it because they believe in the potential for growth and positive change. So, before you label them as perfectionists, understand that their high standards come from a place of sincere passion for improvement, both for themselves and the people they care about. Again, it's not about superiority. It's about creating a better world, one idealistic standard at a time.